Hello. Well, today you still find me on the Llŷn Peninsula, and be interesting if I get lost, particularly as I want to talk to you about navigation. Now, these days, many people rely on what can I call it? Electronic wizardry. They rely on sat navs, and people pay quite often sums of money into the several hundreds pounds. UK, there are some systems that are £500-600. Now, I have reservations about them. Well, yes, I use them, I'm not going to lie, but I do have reservations, and the reason for that is quite simple. God, this is a bit iffy up here, isn't it? Must be good. How can I put it? Ordnance Survey make maps that are waterproof. Their maps are very good. Now, when you use SatNav, you just say, oh, take me there, end of. And it reacts to the scenario. If there's traffic jams, roadworks, it reacts to them. With a map, you design the route yourself, you invest a little time, but you can spot things. For example, am I going past a place of interest I might want to stop at? Am I going past a place that will have an event taking place that I can either go to, or I might already think, oh, there'll be trouble there. As in hold-ups, not fights or anything like that. So you can then research that and adjust your route accordingly in advance, proactively. Prevention is better than cure. So there you go. Personally, I think there's still a lot to be said for the map. And I know some people will agree. I'm not saying I don't use GPS at the moment, I'm not. But that's just because I'm trying to just mess around and I can't be bothered with it. It's too much faff. Right, so I'm had a moan. But of course, navigation wasn't always available in form of sat-navs, was it? So I'm off now in search of what I can only describe as some navigational assistance. And once I found it, I am going to issue you guys a challenge. Wherever you are in the world, I'm going to issue you a challenge. This is interesting. Now, I could have stopped in the passing place and not blocked the traffic. But no, I thought I'd block the road. Oh, clever. I'm sure they've got a very good reason for it. So anyway, yeah, I want to take you back to the dark days of the mid-20th century. The UK was involved in a disagreement with a member of one of the countries of Europe, Germany. Yep, World War II. There's a lot of bearing on the UK, does World War II. And people sometimes don't realise, I mean, I'm 61. I was only born less than 20 years after World War II. I was very lucky. I was born after the war. I didn't experience it directly. My parents did. Anyhow, people will be familiar that during the war, it was total war. So you had everything from civilians, army, navy, and the air force rather, all involved. Whatever part of society you were involved in the conflict. And I'm focusing on aircraft. Now, as unlikely as it may seem, and to me it seemed unlikely, it's true, we had a scenario where aircraft obviously needed to train for different activities, and the one I'm focusing on is bombing. And the way they did that was they set out bombing targets, often at sea, but inland, inshore. I don't know where these go. It doesn't say it's... I'll go down here and have a look. So yeah, where was I? Yeah, a lot of these trips to do the training run would have to be carried out going out towards the sea, not far, but towards the sea. Now, as you can imagine, the sea doesn't have many landmarks because it's like big and blue, isn't it, really? So how did they navigate? Well, believe it or not, they navigated by big concrete arrows. There are a few left in the UK, and I'm going to see if I can find one. Whether I will or not remains to be seen. I know where it is, but what I also know is I may not physically be able to see it. We'll see how I get on. Join me when I get nearer. While I'm travelling, I've got to say, my camera work isn't doing the Llŷn Peninsula much credit. But if you ever are coming up to Wales and you've got time, do include a bit of riding around the Llŷn Peninsula. It's very, very pretty, particularly if you like coastal areas. Not all the roads are like this, I hasten to add. There are some pretty good A and B roads, and you can make good progress on them. I just happen to be picking a fairly small road because it's the direct route, I think, to where I'm trying to get to. But yeah, please do consider the Llŷn Peninsula. See you again in a minute. Okay, so basically I'm now going to be joining a main A road. I'm going to turn right and then I'm going to turn first left. And let's see if I can find this navigation device. I can tell, I can feel it through the ether that you are enthralled, excited, on the edge of your seats. And why wouldn't you be? Anyway, so here's my challenge. All you YouTubers out in YouTube land, can you do a short video finding one of these navigational aids? If you're out in America, for example, I know that aircraft were guided across the states using massive arrows, massive concrete arrows. So if you're out there stateside in YouTube land, let's see what you can find, see what you can unearth. Is this the road or just a lay-by? Nope, it's just a farm entrance. I know what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the first road. And I know it's a little tiny road. Aha. This looks more like it. Might not be. We'll have a look. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I think this is the one. All that banging is a load of tools and things I've got in the back of the speed hump. And as you can see, people have just let their dogs wandering loose. Always encouraging, isn't it? Now down here there is, I believe, a gateway on the right. Which I'm not allowed to go in. Yes, it's there. That's the one. Hiya! Oh, it's catching on that. I'm all right otherwise, just. See you soon. Have a good day. Now you may laugh, but in that field there is where there should be an arrow. Let's go and have a look. Right. So there's the bike. Somewhere in that field over there should be a very large concrete arrow, and I can't see it. So I'll go around the footpath, but you're not allowed in there, it's private property. Let's just go for a quick walk. So let's go and have a look, shall we? It's a pretty view, isn't it? Looking back towards the Cardigan Bay. I don't know if you can see that, but that is what we're there to see. I'll talk about that in a minute. Let's go and have a look. Hello. Hiya. Yeah, you. Now whether we're going to be able to even spot it from here, I don't know. So out there at sea would be where the target would be placed, and the bomber crew would know it was placed there because there's a blooming great arrow pointing towards it. It would be actually over there. So I'm not sure what you can see on the GoPro, but there's a tiny white bit there, and you can just see the edge of the concrete, and that's an arrow. I can sort of see a pattern laid out. It's not very clear from here. From the air it is. I can work out from here that that's the point. Okay, so it doesn't look much, but it's there, it's an arrow. And that's how navigation won the war, with the concrete arrows. Amazing really when you think about it. Okay, so all over the UK there are lots of points of interest. Sometimes they may not be immediately obvious, sometimes they are. And if you're out walking, do keep your eyes open, because I knew that arrow was there. I know a little bit about the history of it. I know what it was used for. But a lot of people won't have a clue that it even existed. Alright? However, look out for these things. They've got QR codes, and then you can find out all about it. Absolutely superb. Right, see you in a minute. So then, fellow YouTubers, here's the challenge. Can you find these concrete arrows? Now in the UK there is one in Devon for all my West Country people. I know there's some on the northwest coast and on the northeast coast of England. I know there's one near Belfast in Northern Ireland. There may be more, but those are the only ones I know of. Can you find them? Can you produce a little video? If you do, let's call it hashtag Craigathlin Concrete Arrow Challenge, eh? Let's look forward to seeing everyone's submissions.